Jerry's solo sounded so melodic because he often played the vocal melody, but that's not the only trick he had. Sometimes he used a different tactic to create that same smooth, lyrical feel without strictly following the melody. So in this video, I'm going to break down what he did and how you can use it to make your own solos sing. But first, let's hear it in action. So if you want to solo melodically, you first need to know what you're actually playing over. And we're going to use Touch of Grey, if you didn't recognize it already, as our example, because this is just the solo from the studio version is just perfect for what we're doing here. So we are just going to look at the first half. The solo goes over the verse and the chorus. We're just going to do the chorus part. And we start off with B, right? So we're going over B, then F sharp, B, and then E, A, E, then F sharp, B, E, and then it does it one more time and stuff. And if you don't know, the chords you're playing over, things can just sound really disconnected no matter how good your technique and stuff is. So the tactic number one is to just basically learn the chords, because knowing the chords lets you anchor your solos musically, laying a solid foundation. If you ever wanted to break down Jerry's Touch of Grey solo note for note, I've got a full deep dive waiting for you on Patreon. Just click the link down below to check it out. So once you know what the chords are, the next step is to simplify them into smaller, easier to manage pieces. Because those big chords themselves can be kind of overwhelming when you're trying to figure out how does this tie into solo and stuff. So best way to do it is to just look at the triads, the basic triads, the building blocks of those chords. So if we're looking at B, you could think, okay, B right here, but what he was doing to tie it to the solo is he's doing it way up here, right? So to go through it as triads, we've got B, F sharp, back to B. You can already hear it's much smoother, right? E, A, E, all these same shapes over and over. F sharp, B, E, right? But instead, the last time, instead of it going like that, B to E, it goes up higher to the next strings to kind of just make it a little more interesting, a little more, kind of climactic. And that's it. So simple. You get your chords, you've got your triads. So tactic number two is to just find those triads within the chords, because when you have triads, it breaks up the bigger complex chords into more bite-sized chunks that you can much more easily use within your solos. And Jerry's Touch of Grey solo, it's packed with melody, phrasing, and all these little signature moves that he would do that just made him so iconic. So if you want that full breakdown, again, every note, every little detail I put together, this exclusive lesson on Patreon, just hit that link down below if you want to check it out. So now that you've got, triads in your toolbox, it's time to use them creatively, because just knowing the triads is one thing, but how do you use these shapes, make them into kind of melodic, memorable solos and stuff? Well, let's take a look at exactly what he was doing. He starts off by sliding from down low into the triad here, and he's playing that B triad right here. He's just playing up it like this. Just up and down, arpeggiating like that, and then the next one, F sharp, going. But now he's not just playing up and down, he's breaking it up, so playing high, low, middle, and then instead of playing that note, he jumps to the B and jumps a little bit early, kind of gets that anticipation. And that's it, just he's doing so many notes, outlining it here, just plays the B here to kind of slides it down, gives it a little bit of a break, and then we're sliding back into, sliding over here to a note above, here's the E, but playing this. So it's not exactly there, so it's not, here's the rule of thumb is don't, play everything verbatim of just play the triads, just kind of using it as your basis, right? So hammering on to the A, and then back down to there, a note within the E. So, and and then sliding up to the F sharp shape again, throwing a little note climbing up there, making it climactic, and then this is where it's more like playing this higher B, so this one here, and then you can play the next version up there, next inversion. So going, just climbing up the scale to that high note, and then that, which is like playing this one of E, this with the root on top. It's a first inversion triad, and just sliding up to it, and not playing the middle one. But you can still see that shape, right? And then his little signature forward pull, I call it. So breaking apart from it, so you know, you can see and hear how these shapes are guided through there. So he's not just playing it, but he's playing around it a lot. And by using this tactic, soloing with the triads, you know, it's using a framework that adds this like melody and like intention to your solos, bringing out that lyrical kind of Jerry-like quality, because melodies very often just follow the chords. So you don't have to even know the melody to sound melodic and tied to the song. You just know the chords and play along with them like this, and it will sound much more melodic than just playing randomly with a scale. You know, Jerry's solo sounded so melodic, not just because he played the vocal melody, but because he used triads to outline the chords in a smooth, expressive way. But before you can use that approach, you really need to know your triads. So check out this video here where I show you how to learn them fast and start making your solos more melodic.